Welcome to Hermit Woods, where there's a story in every bottle.
Testing. You shouldn't have to take your mic off because you're hearing everything that's live. You know what I mean?
Here we go, Bob. What are you doing? You're rewiring right now? 20 seconds, Ow!
It must have been quite a weekend.
It'll grow back.
How was that weekend?
What?
Wow.
Wow.
What a great weekend.
Wow,
Hey,
I
folks.
guess it was like quite a
Guess
weekend.
We're
Yeah.
live again, and we have something in our glass. We're not making that mistake that we made last week
Yes.
again. So,
Well,
hi.
spring is almost in session.
Spring is almost in session.
it's
So
almost in
that's
session.
right. We're drinking
That's right.
spring in session.
Yes.
So greetings, everybody. Welcome back to our Monday night show. Thank you for joining us. We're going to just go over a couple things, as we always do. For anybody who might be new to the show, please, if you're joining us, make yourself known. Write your name in the comments. Say hello so that we know you're here. And if you have any questions, please ask them. We'll do our best. Merike, our co-host here, is going to be doing her best to answer your questions and bring them to us if they need to come to us. And we also will be... we also ask that you like the broadcast so we can get more people out there to be aware of it. And if you like what we're talking about and you think you know some friends or family members that will enjoy it as well, please share it with your friends on your Facebook posts or wherever you like to share your stuff with, so other people can learn about what we're doing here. And let's see, I think I've got everything covered, right?
You know, we have a special guest behind us.
We have a live
I don't
audience
know if
today.
you could hear the little
Live
crying noise in the back there, but
We have a live audience. Look at
that's the
this.
most recent Hardcastle. It's already learning about wine here today. Bob's going to see if he can
Little bit
get
hard
the
to
camera
see,
You
to
can
see
see that
it.
there are people. Oh,
There they are.
Their faces are blacked out.
Hardcastle family.
That's right. Leona is up here with her son Emerson, and Maya's there with them, joining us live here.
Awesome. So what are we doing today? We're
Well, it looks like we have a lot of
We have
food.
some
How come we have so
food.
much food today?
I was hungry.
You're always hungry. That's true. But we don't always have all of these packages and little baggies and
bits and pieces.
bottles,
and
mini
samples.
bottles.
Yeah. So
Tell me about all
this
this
is
stuff.
exciting.
Yeah, what
So,
happened?
Some of you may know, last Saturday we had our first annual local food show. And we invited vendors who supply us the food that we use in our deli and many of the products that we sell on the shelves out in the tasting room. And those vendors showed up. They shared their food as samples, and we had a wine tasting. So everybody came through and
In the
tasted
snowstorm.
wine in a blizzard. Yes, once again.
It was
we had
a little
an
rough
event in a
that day.
blizzard.
Rough.
So thank you to everybody who came out for that. It was rough going on the roads, as I understand it, Saturday. But a bunch of people did come out, and we had a great time. And the vendors seemed to have a great time, and we made some great connections with between the vendors. It was a lot of fun. And we really hope to grow this. We want, excuse me, we want to promote the local products that we're featuring here.
So we
in our
might be
deli.
able to have so much food it could barely fit on this counter.
Eventually.
Some cornucopia.
Right.
Just a
Right,
gigantic.
exactly. And what's most important is that this food is being made by local purveyors.
local, right?
People using local ingredients, local fruit, local for the local cheeses, local milk products, and then converting those into food that we can then sell in our deli, make our sandwiches with, or sell as individual cheese units in the deli counter. So we thought we would talk about some of those fun things that we did that we saw on Saturday.
Right.
And some of it, if you've been with us for a while, you probably are already aware of many of these products. But we also had the opportunity to go to the New England Made Show. Merike and I and Dani and Travis got a chance to go on Sunday over to Portland, Maine, where we visited with hundreds of vendors selling gifts and food items that we thought we might be able to bring back, some of which we thought we could bring back to the winery and share with all of you. So we made
Chuck and I, because we didn't go.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
You missed a good time. We had a lot of fun, didn't we?
Yes,
It
was a great.
We had
it was a
some
great
fun.
time.
Yeah, we had some little fun.
Yeah, I imagine you did too.
Okay.
I heard, yeah, I'm sure you did. I don't have any doubt. So we're going to do both. We're going to share some of the products that we currently have, and then we're going to show some exciting new products that we discovered over the weekend, and we're going to talk about how we can hopefully get them here to share with you in the winery. So I think we should start with probably the products that we already have. So we have.
Do we want to check in? Have we checked in?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do
Check
that
in
for sure. We've got our usual crowd has joined us and made themselves known. Matt and Lynn are here. Janice is here.
Excellent.
Christine has joined us. Gary has joined us, presumably with Paula. It was great. Some of our attendees to Saturday's event were Gary and Paula's daughter, who's here for her bachelorette party. So they had a great crowd of ladies in. So it was fun to see them.
Thank you all. I mean,
Yeah.
being the usual is not anything minor at all. It's fantastic that you guys all join us here every week. Really appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's
I
fantastic.
second that. That's really great.
Yeah.
Thank you. So good. Let's start with some of the products that we have. So we have a nice board here. I'm going to want to switch the camera here.
Sorry, I already took a couple things off
Yeah.
that, just so you know.
So look at this. We got Jack's crackers, and they were at the show in Portland. We got to try some new flavors, and then we have some Wozz products.
That's the Jack's Cracker packaging.
We got some Wozz products, some meats from Beans and Greens and the Farmers and Cooks, and some meat products from Fortuna's, and chocolates from Winnipesaukee Chocolate, and Loon Chocolate was here. Actually weren't here. They were at the show on Saturday, and some nice cheese, some local cheeses from what was that from the cheeses?
It's 5 Generations cheddar, and then the cave-aged Willoughby from Jasper Hill.
Okay, and then we'll show the products when we get there. So let's start with let's show those Wozz products.
Yeah.
Sure.
So Wozz, if you don't know, it started by this chef who was traveling the world on private yachts, and he married a woman from New England.
He's from Australia.
He's from
right?
Australia,
And she's
yes.
from New Hampshire.
Yes,
Right?
and he said, you know, if you're going to marry me, you're not going to be on private yachts traveling around the world. So she talked him into coming to New Hampshire, and he decided to make some of these wonderful chutneys and sauces that he made for the rich and famous around the world for us here in New Hampshire.
So can we have one of those?
Yeah,
Yeah, we got
we got it right here so we got 3 flavors today, right?
Yeah, I didn't grab all 3 jars. So the one closest here, that's the triple ale onion.
Okay.
And then we have the Thai hot pepper and the balsamic fig mustard.
Oh.
Those are probably our
Oh, yeah,
most
they're all good.
3 used.
Most popular.
We have, I think, 10 different varieties, and they are all wonderful. But these are the 3 that we use the most often. They're a little more versatile for boards, and
Whoops.
we use the balsamic fig on a pizza, and the triple ale that goes on that Eli panini. That's one of our, or the original panini from our deli.
Yeah, the Eli.
So you know how caramelized onions taste?
Yes.
They're just sweet, tangy, wonderful. That's what this stuff is. You can eat it with a spoon right out of the jar. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you could have it on ice cream, you
It's
could have it on
delicious.
bread, you could have it anywhere, on anything. It's really, really
Well,
yummy.
remember we had our French onion soup flatbread?
Yes.
That was the
It
base
was, it
for
was just this and cheese.
Yeah.
And it was
It
lovely.
was like
Yeah.
eating French onion soup
Mhm.
Yeah.
in the form of a
Yeah.
flatbread. It was really great.
It's quite amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure
And
how he does that.
He's using this on, Travis is using this on another flatbread, isn't he?
I think,
just
yeah,
recently?
so-
Or coming up?
He's got some
We
new
have
stuff
done,
coming
We
up.
have done another one with that. It's not on the menu right now, but
No, but
we've
it's
done
coming.
specials in the past.
I tasted one at meeting the other day.
Yeah,
He
we did
used it.
that was just a special. I think.
Okay.
But that was really good.
So maybe we'll see that.
Mhm.
See that again.
Yeah, it's delicious.
And the Thai hot pepper, another one from
Oh, we better try
Wozz.
that, Chuck. These
So?
guys ate all weekend, you know.
Yeah, you-
we didn't eat it all.
No,
you know, so-
no. We were fasting all weekend.
Yeah, we were fasting,
Sure
right?
we were.
And we weren't drinking, of course.
No,
You know, 'cause we didn't do that.
nor brewing beer or anything else.
No.
So
No.
Wozz is in Bethlehem, and they're online, and we have about 10
Oh,
other
yeah.
products, but they have probably 25 or
There's
30
more,
different
yeah.
products.
Oh, really? Oh,
You
this
get
is-
online. Yeah, go ahead.
So he makes as many jarred things as we make wine and cider.
Yeah,
25.
very likely he does. Yeah, his
Wow.
website is filled because he has other stuff that that don't go as well with some of the things we're doing here.
Oh,
But,
that's good.
some barbecue sauces and things like that.
Oh, I gotta try those.
Yeah, so if you want to try some other Wozz products, go online. I think it's just Wozz. Wozz.
Wozz Kitchen Creations.
Wozz Kitchen Creations, and you can find all of their products and you can buy them online. So, but you can get about 10 of them here, and we use them again. We use them in our deli on a
Mhm.
regular basis. And let me talk about the meats here for a second. So we don't have the packaging because these meats are sold to us in bulk, and they're used in our deli. And many of the sandwiches, the turkey breast and
We use some of these though.
the
don't we?
roast beef product. Yes, well, yeah, I'll get to that.
Okay.
But I want to talk about these meats right here. I think we have a ham here,
Yep.
a prosciutto,
Mhm.
and a turkey.
Yep.
And they come from a place called Farmers and Cooks. And Beans and Greens in Guilford is a vendor for
We were
farmers
just
and
there.
cooks. Yes.
Yeah, we just last
We were
week
there
showed.
last week. So, and they showed these products off. He had a couple of those. If you saw last
Mhm.
week's show, he shared some of those products. So we buy the bulk product from Beans and Greens, who actually distributes them for Farmers and Cooks, who's out of Massachusetts,
Ah,
and so it's relatively local, and it's what's wonderful about it is it's not processed.
It's actual meat.
It's actual. It's an actual breast of turkey.
Right.
So many deli meats are turkey ground
Well
up
pressed.
and reformed.
that's what he
into-
said. You know, how many turkeys have a perfectly cylindrical chest or
Right,
chicken?
exactly. So this turkey is really, really delicious, and so we
We should help him out,
discovered
Chuck.
it.
You think
Yeah,
so?
it's just, these guys have been eating all weekend and we didn't have any, remember?
Yeah,
So-
that's right.
There is enough for everybody.
Is there?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
How's it taste?
Tastes like turkey.
Maybe they should try it too.
Yeah. It's got a little bit smoked.
Yep.
Nice,
Really
rich,
tender.
soft, tender.
Very
I
moist.
want some
Flavorful.
Wozz bread on it.
So what
Super
is
yummy.
this? We have to
That's what
take
it
that
is.
one then because it's.
Oh, yeah.
So what do we use that turkey on?
We use it on the turkey bacon jam panini, our signature classic, and
The
we also
cranberry
just
wrap?
switched. Not anymore. Well,
What?
the cranberry wrap is off the menu, Ken.
What?
We could probably still make it for you, but we have.
Special orders.
I'm sure there's
We have
something
altered
that's,
our menu.
I'm sure it's being replaced with something that's even
It-
better.
I
You've
would
tried
argue
it.
yes. So it is actually. You probably did have this.
You
We had
did
it as
have
a
it.
special,
It was a hit.
and it was a huge
Oh,
hit.
the
So
other
we
night
did
when we
a turkey
sampled it.
bacon Swiss.
Oh, that was deadly. That was deadly
It wasn't
good.
a wrap when we did it as a special. When we did it as a special, we did it on ciabatta bread. But because we were taking the cranberry turkey wrap off, we decided that we needed another turkey wrap. So we put the turkey
Now you
bacon
put it
Swiss
in a
on a wrap.
The one I
I got
had was
this-
a wrap.
Yeah, and it's got this fantastic basil aioli on it that
Oh, yeah.
Travis has made. That
Really
is
good.
my favorite part. I always ask for extra,
Extra?
double, little more, a lot more. And yeah, that's a very excellent new wrap that we have. So yes, the cranberry turkey wrap is gone.
It'll
But
be
we have
back.
something.
I'm sure
It'll
It's
come back.
pretty
It'll come
popular.
back into the rotation.
That's right. If they keep getting better,
Mhm.
stuff doesn't need to come back. I mean, that's
Oh,
that's
sure.
progress.
And
So
well, and
changes.
part of what we're doing is we're trying to focus more on keeping things in season. So we're actually getting all of our produce locally and not having tomatoes in December when you can't get fresh tomatoes, and
Well done.
so we're
Eating in the season.
eating in season.
Yes.
With seasonably correct food. And actually, the good news is I did learn from Black River at the event this weekend that they're trying to make some connections with some of the hothouses that are growing tomatoes in the winter in New England.
Mhm.
So
Good.
they're local. And
Good.
because of the greenhouses or hothouses, they can grow them all year round. And
Yeah, it's
they're not
fantastic.
quite as good as freshly grown tomatoes in August, but pretty close. They're certainly a lot better than the ones coming up from Mexico that we typically get in the winter.
You know, my fondest memories talking about tomatoes is early on with the winery adventure when we were still at your house, Bob.
yes.
And you and Geraldine were growing tomatoes out back.
Oh, yeah.
And I had never really had a tomato sandwich before, let alone Bob's
Tomato salad.
famous tomato sandwich.
Yeah.
Now famous. It's
And-
on the menu.
And that was fantastic. Picked in season, and just the way you'd lay it up on a good piece of bread, little mayo, salt and pepper, and a nice slice of perfect ripe. I mean, you literally go out back, pick it, slice it. Put it
That's
on
the way to do
toast.
it. That's the best
Great.
tomato sandwich
Yeah.
right there.
It's so simple and so perfect.
And it will be back on the menu this summer.
In season.
As soon as the
Yes.
season.
In season.
As soon as we
That's
get
the
those
key.
nice tomatoes
That's
back.
right. That's the key.
And that is something that Travis has tried more and more over the last few months. He's tried harder and harder to figure out how to align the menu as closely as possible to the ingredients that we can access from local farmers throughout the seasons. So that's going to affect our menu going forward. So what about the ham? What's the ham on? Is the sloppy pig?
The
still
sloppy
on?
pig is going away.
It's going away.
Wow, that was another good
So we have lost the sloppy pig, and we have gained a Cuban.
Oh,
Oh.
So the Cuban is on
we
the,
had the other night was
yeah, it's
really
on that,
good. Yes, when
the
he
bread
showcased
peddler's
that.
delicious rye bread with ham, and I think there's another meat, probably our prosciutto. One of the,
on
I
the
think it's the prosciutto.
prosciutto. Big.
There are two types of meat on
Mustard
there, anyway, and then
and
mustard. Yeah, mustard and Swiss.
So, and the mustard comes from the mustard guy. He's out
Yes.
of just around, not far from
Kentucky.
Concord, Kentucky.
And the mustard guy's rhubarb is in this spring in session.
is in spring.
You get
Session.
rhubarb from them?
Yes, yes,
I
I
didn't
do.
know that.
Yeah. So that's really wonderful when it comes full circle. And the what else did you mention on there? The bread guy. We don't have the
Bread
bread
peddler.
here, but the bread peddler. He's been making homemade bread in his kitchen for 15 years now. And we met him early on when we were.
We had when the winery was still at your house.
Yes.
we had bread peddler bread.
And we used to bring the bread in and sell it. We did, we were small. We didn't sell a lot of it, but I was committed to try and do my best to support this guy and his bread because it's so good. And so as soon as we started to grow our deli and use his bread in the deli, and he actually went out and got a bread slicing machine really for us because we were the first
That's
restaurant
right. You had asked about
that was
that.
using
Yep.
sliced bread as part of our lineup. And now we go through, 30 loaves a week or
A
something.
whole bunch, yeah, tons in summer, yeah.
In the summer,
In the summer,
even
it's
more.
insane.
So
It's
yeah,
a little different than
I-
what we did when we were at your
a lot
house.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I meet him every week, or in winter it's been maybe every other week I've been meeting him, but
And he literally-
usually every week.
He has a certified kitchen in the basement of his home. He got licensed and he bakes like a madman every week to meet the needs. So you can get his bread here. You can, if you come in on Sunday, you can order his bread and we'll add one to our order and you can pick it up on Wednesday.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And you also can get his bread. He's at the farmer's market in Concord. And if you go onto his website, the peasant
Bread
I think it's
peddler.
the bread,
look
just
up
the bread peddler.
The
Careful,
bread
though,
peddler,
there's-
Sanborn.
Do type Sanborn because there's
Yeah.
another bread peddler in Oregon that I've done in. I'll
Yeah,
type it in
too.
and I'll get the wrong bread peddler.
Paid
But-
$25 in shipping for a
Yeah,
loaf of bread, didn't you?
Sanborn.
So he's in Samberton. If you bread peddler Samberton, you'll find it. And he's in a few farmers markets. I think you can order direct from him.
He's
and
got
go.
it depending on the time. Like sometimes he has online ordering available, and sometimes you place an order and then have to go pick it up at the
It's just
market
him.
or things like that.
You guys
It's just
thirsty?
him.
It's just him.
Not that
I've still
thirsty,
got
I
a little
guess.
bit.
It's all right.
I'll get there.
have
You
some
can
of that.
You have an empty glass. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah.
Not for long.
It-
Never
it,
for
it
long.
happens. I don't know how it happens, Bob, but it happens. And we just happen to have this wonderful can of
Winnie Rosé.
Sparkling rosé.
A very versatile pairing with all of
Love
these
that, yeah.
goodies.
Beautiful.
That was
available for tasting on Saturday.
It was. We didn't do the sparkling, but the Winnie Rosé was there. We did the Lake House White, Petite Blue, Red Scare, and Winnie Rosé. Figured that was a good, arrangement of Hermit Woods and a little bit of everything. And then it was really fun, I think, for the folks that came in for this tasting that it was sort of a choose your own adventure as opposed to some of the other tastings that we've done with pairings. Each station has very specific, this wine goes with this cheese. And you could fiddle around a little bit, but it was mostly very specific pairings. Whereas this one, we would pour them a sample, and we did slightly larger samples, but fewer wines. So people had more in their glass, and then they could just sort of wander around the room and try all sorts of different things and figure out their own pairings.
Yeah.
And we steered people in certain directions because there were some things that we knew.
Unless they had rosé in their glass, because then it
just
paired
goes
with
with
everything.
Yeah, and that was the last one. So at that point, we just feel like, just everywhere. But there were pairings.
The spring and session went really well with all the different the sauces and
These crackers in the spring and session were wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that right now.
Yeah.
So these are Jack's crackers. So would you have the package there of Jack's crackers?
Yeah.
We got to meet Jack.
You met Jack?
Jack is actually a cat.
Jack is a cat?
Jack is
Did
a
you see
cat.
his UPC code on the back?
Yeah, he's a cat.
That's a cat.
Oh, that's so funny.
So you want to give me the camera?
Oh, yeah. There you go.
So these are Jack's crackers. There's about, I think, 6 or 8 flavors all total, some of which we don't have yet. There's the UPC cat.
That's cute.
So Jack, as I learned, I thought I was meeting Jack, but no, Jack is not Jack.
Jack the cat.
Kevin is the chef and his wife, and Jack is a cat. Is Kevin's cat. So we get to try a few more of these, and we're going to be bringing those in. There was tomato basil was one of them.
Those ones were very interesting. When I first tasted them, I was a little more unsure because they kind of taste like pizza in a cracker, which I don't think goes as well on a standard charcuterie board, but they give recommendations on, what works, and what they listed for those ones was hummus, smoked mozzarella, and tuna salad. And all three of those just, of course, that sounds great. So it's fun that they do that, and you can use them for different things. And then there's a garlic and herb as well that we'll start carrying.
Right. Where are they out of?
They're based in Keene, New Hampshire.
Keene. Okay.
Yep. So we've been doing just the red and white wine so far, but we'll get a couple more. And then at the food show, this was fun because they were here visiting us on Saturday, and then we saw them again on Sunday because they were also at the Made in New England Expo. And there they had a couple of different ones. There was a dill.
Yep.
And one other. I feel like I tried 2 different ones.
We could carry all
again
of
on
them.
Saturday. Yeah.
Seems like they only have, like I said, 6 or 8. There's not that many varieties, but so you'll see more Jack's crackers coming. They're delicious. I really enjoy them.
Unique too.
Yeah.
They're good with rosé.
And good. Everything's good with rosé.
Good
Didn't we
with
establish that?
Yeah.
So we covered the Wozz, the crackers. The bread comes from a baker from Black River, right?
Yep.
The little sliced baguettes, and then the cheese. This is the it's out of Vermont. What is that one?
Jasper Hill.
Hill.
It's the cave-aged Willoughby. Sort of a bloomy rind, gooey cheese.
Oh, this is one of my favorite new cheeses. The cage-aged Willoughby.
So it's made in the brie style.
Cheese, huh?
It's a soft cheese or
brie.
camembert.
Yes, exactly.
I'm excited. I don't remember what it was called now. Did you try on Saturday, Bob, the cheese that Dave from Black River brought? It's another, I think it was another new Vermont creamery that they're just starting to carry, and it was.
So new cheese coming our way, I think.
Sticky.
It was really nice.
Got it. So what do we use? The Willoughby's on the board, right? On our charcuterie board.
We do
Cheese
have to put it on the
charcuterie.
board, yeah.
Anything else? The Willoughby? The cheese?
No,
Okay.
it's not on any of the sandwiches right now.
That's good cheese.
And then, of course, definitely have some. It's really good cheese. It's my new favorite. Brie used to be one of my favorite soft cheeses.
This is a little richer and nuttier
nuttier
than a brie to me.
Yeah.
There's almost like it's a little bit like a hazelnut. There's a real richness to it that's nice. That blends really nice. It's not overpowering or singular at all.
Very warm.
And wonderful texture. Really nice texture.
And and perfect ripeness too.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll get a brie. It's too hard. It's not.
Oh, yeah.
It's good.
That's
I don't know anything about distributing cheese, but It seems to me a lot of the local breeds that I have will be
Unripe.
unripe. It's too hard. It doesn't have the flavor. It hasn't matured. And this is just spot on. It's exactly where it should be.
Oh, cheese is a little bit like faster moving wine.
Yep.
Although some of them, like a really well-aged Reggiano Parmesan,
A couple of
could be
years.
10 years.
10 years.
Plus 15 years.
And
before
Jeddars,
it's-
we
before
carry a
it's ripe.
2-year Cheddar.
Yeah.
And a
Yeah,
1-year
so
Cheddar.
it's like a wine rate sort of aging
It's
process.
live food, just like wine,
Yeah,
right?
it is live food.
It's live
It's
food.
cultured,
and
it's
the
fermented.
bacteria or whatever it is that changes the character and flavor of the cheese evolves that cheese over time, just like
Mhm.
wine. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's very wine-like. Same with the dried
Spot on.
salamis. too.
Yes, they actually ferment the salamis, and I didn't know. I was
fermented.
talking to the owner of Fortuna's. Let's talk about them next. We did a show with them over in Vermont. You wanna
Oops,
switch
there we go.
cameras? And this is their Cabernet. This is amazing. That's one of my favorites.
This is my favorite.
And this one is the
Still a
Finocchiona.
Yeah.
This is also very good. They have a little shop in Manchester, Vermont that we visited one time. If you get a chance to get over there, you should visit them. They have a lot more of their own products over in their own shop. We only carry 3 or 4 of their
You brought a
products.
couple new things back with you.
I did,
Yeah,
yes.
they were.
And actually, what's on the board is actually the hot soppressata that I didn't bring a package up because she just brought it for us as a sample.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, we
That's
carry the
this
sort of
one?
regular
a
soppressata,
hot
but that's the
soppressata.
hot one. Yeah.
I'll have to try that. So anyway, I was talking to the
I have
owners,
it.
Good going.
and he pointed out to me they did some research on sugars because they need sugar. They need to add a sugar to get the fermentation going.
So then
And
it's Saccharomyces.
they
that's doing
add,
fermentation.
and they add a dextrose. They found that works best for theirs as well. So it was a great conversation. They took a little tour of the winery with me. That's where I learned this. But great products.
Yeah, fantastic stuff.
Yeah, and they don't use any preservatives in this. So this is just pork, salt, spices, fennel seed, celery, and juice powder, whatever juice powder is. But they
I mean,
don't.
when you go back to the
they don't
roots
use nitrates.
of fermentation, before refrigeration, humans had needs to preserve their foods for storage.
Mhm.
And you're in a climate where stuff is going to rot, it's going to go bad. And they found that if they fermented their milk into cheese, their meats into salamis, their grapes
Lasts
into
a lot
wine,
longer.
Yeah.
that it would last a lot longer
Yeah.
at room temperature or cellar temperature.
Right.
That's what it was. And they didn't have any nitrates or preservatives or any of that stuff. They just
Although they did use
sulfites.
sulfides.
Yep, early on.
Since very
Back in Greek times.
Yeah. So sulfide's been used for a long time as
Yeah.
a preservative.
Actually, speaking of preservatives, we have a question from Marianne. She's asking about, she's got a pack of the rosé cans that she's had in her fridge for a while. Curious how long, what's the shelf life on those cans?
That's a good question. The cans, when you can a product, you send off a sample of your product to the Ball Jar Corporation in California, and they assess its acidity to the container that we're going to put it into. And these are made out of aluminum. It's an aluminum can, but it has a liner on the inside. And wines, beers, ciders are very acid rich, and acids can dissolve aluminum and other metals quite readily. Oh, now you guys are getting thirsty, huh?
Yeah.
Mm.
And so what they strive for, if it goes well, is a rating of at least a year. And that's as high as they go for rating. And all of our products are rated for a year in the can. But
They may last longer,
Many of them go out much longer than that.
but
And
to be safe, it's recommended you consume it within a year.
right, and it's meant to be consumed faster. If you want to store a wine for a long period of time, you want a glass container.
Yeah.
And that's gonna store it for a long period of time.
But don't you actually recommend that rosé, even in glass, be drank within a couple years?
Oh yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
fresh,
Right.
fruity
That's what it's all about.
beverage. You want
Right.
to keep that fresh, fruity character. So the sooner
Right.
the better. I mean, I think really.
If I have a can of rosé in front of me,
Matt says theirs usually last about 2
I'm
weeks.
gonna open it up. Yeah, just open it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have it now.
Just open it.
have it now. Either have it now.
Join us
or-
for a toast.
Yeah.
Or
Cheers.
or bring
Just
it
drink now.
Have some
Bring it up
rosé.
to the lake this
Marianne,
summer and we'll
pull a
help
can
you
out
with
right
it.
now.
We should have that on our cans. Drink now.
Yes. Drink now.
Drink now. Yeah, drink now.
Right?
Best drink
Now.
now. Okay, so that's Fortuna. Again, get out to Manchester and visit visit them out there. They're just absolutely great people and great products. And there's a lot more. What do we use? We use Fortuna on our boards.
Most of our boards.
Most on the boards.
And
Yep.
we have a couple different boards with their products.
Yep.
Yeah, ideal. I keep a piece of this in my refrigerator all the time. It's my favorite midday snack, little slice of
And so
Fortunas.
everybody knows you can get, come here and have a nice charcuterie board, have a glass of wine or what have you, or you can pick up a salami and take it home with you,
Right.
or both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all
there
the
are cans of-
cheeses and crackers and chocolates, everything on this charcuterie board you can buy.
Yeah, you can take home with you.
Everything except the turkey. We don't sell the turkey
Oh, the meats.
because we
Yeah.
don't have the
Oh, yeah.
ability to slice and weigh.
Yeah.
Someday we may have that capabilities, but for now, those meats are being
Then we might
sliced.
be a real deli.
We're going to be an eatery.
Eatery.
though. And then we have to. then
We do
we're
like
really
to
gonna
eat
be
more than we
we'll
like
be in
to
a real
deli.
pickle then, won't we?
Oh, we might.
Totally. Oh.
Moving on.
We got some nice cheese. This is a cheddar
Yeah,
cheese.
let's
This
talk
is
about cheese.
also
Where's that
on
from?
Our boards. This is from
That's
Vermont.
5 generations. Yep, we get just a mild and a sharper.
And the microgreens?
Yeah, the
I'm
micro.
not
Those
sure
those
where those are coming from. We get them from
beans and greens, I
leftover.
think.
Are they beans and greens?
Well,
Oh,
it
we
may
can.
be. but
I
beans
We
and
think
have
greens
it
them.
has
will
them
be. I
now.
don't
I bet they're
know if
beans
these
and
ones
greens.
are, but yeah.
It might be Black River.
Mhm.
Yeah. We get some wonderful cheeses from Vermont.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm really
they're the
thrilled.
best. Yeah,
Vermont's
And I
really,
just-
really doing it.
When we were in Portland, we went to a little cheese shop in Portland, and I discovered a new Vermont cheese, which Travis is hot on the trail of. We're gonna see if we can get it here. Yeah,
Even better than these? Or
it's not
complimentary?
better, It's different.
Yeah,
It's
complimentary.
complimentary. It's
Mhm.
got a whole different flavor and character, and its own kind of funk to it. It's
What kind of cheese was it?
It's a hard cheese. I forget the name of it.
I feel like at the time we were eating it, the cheese shop was wonderful. They had a big case with all these lots of different
I love
handwritten signs, all the different ones, and especially you, Bob, when you were looking for what to choose, you just sort of told her some of your preferences, and she kind of guided you into
Yeah.
what she thought would be a
That's
good
what
one.
a cheese
And
shop should be, right?
exactly, and then
That's
we
It's
exactly
like
were
a
it
good
should be.
wine shop.
I'm looking for something like this, and they bring you a sample. No, sorry, it's not like that's almost there, but I'd like it to be a little
yeah.
like this, and then they bring you something
Yeah.
else.
And then so I bought a block of sort of, I guess, sort of more cheddar-like type. And then
Right.
you got a couple different ones. And then Bob also got a nice fresh baguette. And so we left the cheese shop and just walked down
Just
the
tearing
street,
into
just
the baguette.
tearing into the
Felt
baguette.
very French.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
No, that's
lovely.
fantastic.
When my friend Joey and I rode our bicycles around Europe, that was our meal. So we didn't pack anything. We were riding on 10 speeds around Europe. We were 18 years old, and you just ride. You get into the small town, and you follow your nose to the little bakery that's there, and then you follow your nose to the cheese shop, and you get a couple pieces of that, and you find a place to pull over and just break off chunks of cheese and bread.
It's
like
the best.
so
Yeah,
darn
it's
Absolutely
good.
the best. When
It's so
Gerald and
good.
I lived in France for 3 weeks or 4 weeks in 2011, we did the same thing. Every day we looked forward. The first thing we did in the morning was find a boulangerie, I think is the
Boulangerie, yeah.
for fresh baked bread, and then a place where we get some cheese. There's a market on every corner in
Yeah.
France, so you can find this stuff very easily. And all day long, driving along in the car, tearing the loaves of bread apart and having it with cheese and meats and things like that. It's really wonderful.
It's really fantastic. And I think, part of what we're doing in this country that we're helping to do, and everybody that partakes of it, is to support local, because in doing that, you create that capability.
Yeah.
Yes,
Supermarkets tend to take that away.
that's right.
And some
They
supermarkets
centralize
are
the
actually
food.
getting good at bringing in some local stuff,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
Yeah.
But the more you support these small local purveyors, the more you create that sort of European model right here, so that you
Yeah,
could
so-
actually go and do that.
The home that we stayed in somebody's home, and they had a very, very small refrigerator, like what we would
Yeah.
call a sort of
Yeah,
a
door.
day refrigerator.
Because they buy fresh every day.
Because they buy fresh every day. There's a market with fresh food on every corner. There's a farmer's market every week,
Yeah, I remember
multiple
you two
days,
talking about
Wednesdays and
Yeah.
Saturdays. You go get your fresh vegetables all summer long. The farmers markets there are insane. They're like 2 miles long. You can just walk for 2 miles. There's 10 different vendors for tomatoes and 10 different flour vendors.
Well, you think about it, if you took a supermarket and stretched it out onto a street,
Right.
it might
It
be
would
a
be
mile
2 miles
long.
long.
Yep.
And you know what? I'm sure they existed, but in 4 weeks of being in France, I never even saw a supermarket.
They exist.
I'm sure they do, but I never saw one. They're sort of off the beaten path. And all of our travels brought us,
Into the little towns.
and where the little bakeries were. And it was really great. And you are seeing that happen more. Farmers markets are becoming more important here, and people care more about buying and eating local products. So we got a couple more things on the current board, and then we're going to move on to what the new things that we discovered before we run out of time. Let's talk about the chocolate. So everybody knows we've been selling this since almost the very beginning. Winnipesaukee chocolate. It's delicious.
Yeah.
There's so many flavors and subtle different flavors with spices and
I really like talking to the guy who's it's a husband-wife team.
Yeah, it's Jonathan and Sally, and Jonathan is very good about flavors and remembering what flavors work together.
Yep.
And he's tweaked his recipes. He's been making chocolates for 25 years. They're telling me the business is, I think, 16 years old. But Sally was saying that he started making them when they first started dating 25 years ago. He wanted to make her chocolate. It's very cool.
They're super cool people. And they've been coming to events for us for a long time, and we probably carry 25 of their.
This is the one with curry in it.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I
Sally
love
in
that.
particular was having a really fun time. We've been using these pairings or these chocolates to pair with our dessert wines very frequently. But on Saturday in particular, we were trying to see how do these chocolates pair with
Dry reds.
the drier wines, which we haven't been doing as much. And we actually discovered a few pairings that worked really nicely. I remember, I think the Red Scare was really nice with the Rattlesnake Island, which is the one with cayenne.
Oh, wow.
That little bit of
with
spice.
cayenne.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
It was just, we didn't have it open up here, but I also was thinking if Red Scare was going like that spiciness, I was thinking it would be really nice with Lake House
Maybe I should
Red.
do a version of Red Scare with cayenne in it.
Oh,
Hot Red Scare.
that was a great.
Some capsule.
That would be fun to
some
market.
capsule.
Hot Red Scare. It sounds a little. I don't know. It sounds kind of
Okay,
racy.
I'll stop now.
Sounds like you just said it.
considering what the world is going through right now, maybe let's just leave that alone.
Perhaps, yeah.
Well, to move right along,
Ukraine.
as opposed to getting into the politics of the day.
No, we're not
let's
talking
stick
about
with
that.
food.
We're talking about good, fun things, Chuck.
Yeah.
Well, I know where Red Scare came from. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And since we did
Came
touch
from
on
a
that
Frisbee.
subject,
Came from a Frisbee.
There
I
you
got
go.
to say, it's really disheartening to see that in the news every day. And
It is.
My heart goes out to the people of Ukraine.
Of course.
Ukraine who are suffering from
Yeah.
this real unfortunate situation. But enough on that. We're going to talk about
You
one
want to talk
more
about
thing.
that for the rest of the show?
No, we're talking about this honey. And I'm not going to go there, but let me have the Hall's,
Oh, yeah.
Hall's honey. So Ken's been getting honey from this gentleman
Yes.
for, 8 years, 9 years now.
Troy Hall.
Troy Hall, super guy. It was so
Yeah,
great to
he's
see him the
fantastic.
other day. We had a great chat, and he does it all himself. I mean, he has a handful of people maybe that help him here and there, but he really he's talk about local. He's collecting honey from hives all over the western New Hampshire
I think he's
and
got
eastern
150
Vermont.
or 200 hives now. He started off raising bees, learning from a beekeeper in Vermont. And then
He's a
he
young guy.
graduated.
He's what,
Yeah.
30s?
Mhm.
30s
He's
or
probably
late
in his
30s, early
mid 30s now. He's got a young family,
Yeah.
2 kids, and a wonderful partner. And he's like a bee whisperer. When I was raising bees, I would talk to Troy and need some help about what was going on in the hive, or I need a new queen or something. And going over and watch Troy in a t-shirt with no veil on walk out to a hive and pick up a couple bees and just kind of look at them, pet them maybe, and they fly off, and he reaches in, and I'm like, wow, you can do that. And he's like, yeah, you don't want to set them off. If you're scared, they're going to know it. And I said, I know. Every time I go into it, I'm scared. They know it, and they come at me.
Wow.
But he's just amazing, and he produces fantastic honey. When we were interested in getting some dark honey from Japanese knotweed, he put a bunch of hives out where there was a bunch of Japanese knotweed, and then provided us with a bunch of dark honey that we could turn
I
into
hope we
meat.
could do that again someday.
Oh yeah,
Honey is
that's on the plan for this fall.
Oh, good.
Excellent. Yeah. No, he's a great guy, and you can get his honey here. We sell it in 2 different size jars, and I think you can get it online too. He does have a website, but I'm not sure about that. but certainly learn about what he's doing if you go online, because he does have a website, all
Yeah.
Apiaries.
nhbeekeeper.com.
Excellent. So
yeah,
that's
it provides all sorts of stuff.
yeah, and there's a lot of other vendors that we have here that provide many of the goodies that help us make our food in the deli and that we sell on our shelves in the tasting room. But that's what we covered on Saturday. And then, like I said, on Sunday, Merike and I and Travis and Dani went to discover the Made in New England show. About 25% of the show was New England food producers, and we discovered some great new foods. And then there were a couple gift items that were available in the gift section. One of the things I was most excited about was a new cracker. I'm always looking. There's not a lot of great crackers.
Crackers are hard.
They're hard.
And sometimes we can get good crackers, but we can't get them consistently, especially the past year or two has been very difficult with supply chains. Or we can get the cracker in these, little retail size boxes, but we can't get them in bulk.
Right.
And when
That's
we're
about right.
making, 10, 15 charcuterie boards every day, you need a bigger box.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
right,
it's
sure.
really just not efficient
Sure.
to open these little packages.
And we certainly don't want to go national. There's lots of national cracker brands, and we want to stay away from those because we want to support local. So we're really scouring the local shelves to find.
Well, that's when you
local
find the
producers.
best stuff, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do carry one Onesto crackers, which is also local, which is a gluten-free cracker.
Yep.
But we now have another version of gluten-free, which are very, very different from Onesto, which is fun because Onesto sort of meets a part of the market. There's a certain character and flavor of their cracker that I like, but this comes at it from a different place, and it's from my home state. They're made down in Rhode Island. We should open these up. I think I got one of them already open.
I figure, you wouldn't have made it home without
You're
opening
already
this.
eating them?
Geraldine saw these. She's like, I got to try one. And she likes gluten-free, of course. So Beth bakes.
Pumpkin.
These pumpkin seeds. Here, tear into that. We got the pumpkin seeds, and then they got a, what is this one? This one's,
Crispy Classic.
Crispy
Did you get
Classic.
the Everything Bagel ones?
I think so, yeah.
I didn't.
So Crispy Classic.
These ones I didn't try.
No, show 'em.
Oh, that's almost a surfboard.
That is
Excuse me.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
know.
a cracker. That's
But
like
it's
a
thin.
That's like
It's thin, so it's not a lot of
it's
cracker.
super thin.
Yeah.
But it's great.
And,
I want to show off that shape.
yeah, and then there's the current fennel crackers. These are really cool.
Oh, open these all up. I gotta
Yeah,
try these
totally
all.
open
Oh
these
my
up.
goodness.
These are really awesome.
They melt in your mouth.
They melt in your mouth. It's amazing. They're gluten free.
Kind of like a
Yep, some sorghum flour.
oh wow.
So what's the ingredients? There's nothing wrong with these crackers. They're so wonderful. Let's see. What does she say? The ingredients: water, whole grain, teff flour, brown rice flour, dried currants, golden flax meal, olive oil, gluten-free oat flour, balsamic vinegar, brown sugar, baking powder, salt, fennel seed, crackers topped with Malden and Newport sea salts. There's nothing bad in here. There's all these wonderful ingredients. And
Don't pass them that way. Pass them this way.
That's pass it to you.
I think
we got
she
it.
started.
Pumpkin seed.
I think I feel like I hear this sort of story frequently especially with special diet type of foods that I think her daughter was having dietary
Gluten-free.
restrictions and they were having trouble finding good
Celiac
quality
disease.
crackers that
Yeah.
she could eat. And so mom just started figuring out recipes at home and was able to eventually market them.
Yeah, that's
So that's-
fantastic.
This pumpkin
She
seed
really
one
is making
fantastic.
them
There's
from
a
scratch.
papadum. There's an Indian.
Yeah, there is a papadum kind of
Yep.
thing there.
It's
Yeah.
got that. It's got that
Okay.
sort of character to
Yeah, the
it.
chickpea
Mhm.
flour.
so that was my big. If nothing else comes out of this show,
I'm
we
right
end
there
up
with you,
these
man. That's
Crackers.
you.
I think
Home
we
run.
nailed it. They look beautiful on the
Home run.
board.
I love this. Look at these things.
Yeah.
The shape is so fun.
Let me hold one up to the.
Look at
yeah.
that.
I did that.
It's
Yep.
huge.
Look at that. It's just such a.
But like you said, they're
Very thin.
really light and easy to eat. The whole cracker.
Yeah.
Each
So
one.
they're coming. Look for those soon. They'll be on our boards. They
Oh,
do sell them in
everything
bulk.
bagel spice.
Everything bagel.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, this is going to be a problem.
Yeah, that's good.
Another really exciting find. I don't know how this. I haven't tried them yet. We just have the samples here. He didn't have open samples at the show, but he's
Well, let's open 'em.
harvesting local wild blueberries, just like
I
us.
want to talk to this guy.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I told him, you got to meet Ken. He's going to probably come over because he seemed
I
excited.
want to talk to him.
But local wild blueberries, and he's making vinegar. So he's actually makes blueberry wine, and then he converts the wine into a vinegar using the right character. And he's got a cranberry, he had about a dozen flavors or half a dozen flavors anyway. And he gave me a couple samples. We're going to try them, see if we can use the vinegars in some of our salad dressings. So now we could have our petit blue salad with actual lettuce.
And throw a couple of these crackers on everything we make. Just saying.
So these vinegars I think are going to be a hit. I haven't tried them yet, but we're going to
Open one up.
Open one up. Let's try the blueberry.
Take a shot.
Yeah.
How do you drink? How do you drink these?
How do
Take a
you
shot.
drink your vinegar?
You show me.
So that's the vinegar, and then what else and I discovered, so we've had a hard time with coffee. We do French press coffee here, but we don't have a big demand for coffee. So it's hard because
We're not a coffee shop.
We're not a coffee shop. But every now and then people come in, they want coffee. So look what I discovered.
We're not a coffee shop.
I'm so
Yeah, try
thrilled
this.
about this.
It's a new one.
Let's see if I can open this up here. Vinegar?
That's like my worst nightmare
What?
is to ever have my petite blue turn into vinegar in a big tank.
Well, there's a
But it
place
has
for
But it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like.
I know it's supposed to be vinegar,
Oh, yeah.
but
Acetic
but-
acid, yeah.
it's got this great fresh wild blueberry component to it. It reminds me of petite blue, but it's a vinegar, and
so
that's
you're
like
right.
you know
It's triggering.
a nightmare of mine to
Yeah.
ever have a 1,500 gallon tank get vinegar
Yeah.
in it.
You don't want to make vinegar.
I remember back a couple generations of chefs
Wow,
here,
that's interesting.
right?
I mean, it's vinegar, so it's tough to drink vinegar straight.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I just had a shot of it,
But it's got that
but it's got
fruitiness to it from the blueberry.
I would love this on a salad. I would
Yeah.
love this
You wouldn't
drizzled
even
over
need
some
anything else. Just
Well, that's
dribbled
Just
over
this.
some tomato slices with
Yeah.
some mozzarella or something.
it's gonna
it would
be
just
great.
be fantastic.
So
Cranberry.
we're gonna do more with this. We got to do some more
What am I doing?
experimenting.
Cranberry.
Isn't that neat?
Mhm.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited. So it's called, what is it called? Wild blueberry vinegar. What's the
West
company?
Maclet
Oh, my
Maclet
God.
Vinegar Works. They're in West Brunswick, Maine.
Brunswick, Maine.
Yep.
So my nose, every time I sniff wine, I'm like trying to see if there's any acetic acid, any VA, anything that's
why we
like
don't make vinegar.
going to be a problem. And so now I put this in a wine glass, a couple drops, and it's like whoosh, right up my nose.
So that's the vinegar. Then
Yeah, that's vinegar.
look at this. This
Ooh.
is so cool. So the coffee problem might be solved.
Oh, it's really good tasting vinegar though.
This coffee company
Flavorful.
makes these cute little packets. Here's what the packet looks like. It's a single serving, and look at this. Look at this. It comes with this really. I'm
Well,
gonna
like
show
its
it on
own
wine
filtration
glass.
system. So it's like a tea bag.
It's like a tea bag. It sits. I don't know how to. I haven't read the instructions, but it sits on your coffee cup, just like this. Comes with these are attached to the bag, and then you pour the water. I think you open the top of the bag, and you pour the water into
So it's
the
its
bag.
own little funnel.
It's its own little.
It's a
drip.
double-walled funnel.
It's a pour
Oh,
over.
coffee
Little
grind
pour
today.
over coffee cup.
Oh, wow.
It's a pour. Yeah.
Single serve.
How fun is that?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
You just so somebody can now have coffee. All we got to do is supply the hot water,
Yeah.
and they can
Wow.
make fresh
That's
coffee
exactly what
from
it is.
fresh
Yeah.
grounds right there. We're gonna try this.
Genius.
Genius. I'm really excited about that. Pour over coffee is delicious
Pour
too.
over
It's another,
coffee,
another nice way to experience a good fresh coffee.
Yeah. How fun is that?
And let's see. Oh, and then this was not. We don't have the product here. We didn't get samples, but Kraft nut butter.
These
Oh
were
my
so
God! Here, you should take a screenshot, those of you at home, because this is available online, and you should just go buy some because
Oh, really?
you know,
What
seriously, this stuff was amazing. There's a QR code.
Oh, there we go.
Maybe you can maybe you
able
could
to.
grab that QR code and certainly look. They got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. So they have all these flavors. They have various. Basically, it's peanut butter made with all different kinds of nuts.
I love a good almond butter. It's really
Yeah, I
good.
love
Well, they take it coconut flurry, maple bliss, the high bar. We tried like I don't know
They have
four.
four
Wait a
different
minute. What
ones.
nuts are they using? Are there a variety of different nuts?
Wide variety
Almond,
of nuts.
cashew, walnut.
Mm.
I think were the three that I saw the most, but a variety, and then some other.
I've had
flavorings.
cashew-based vegan ice cream.
Oh yeah.
which is tremendous.
Cashew does because
Yes,
cashews
it's
are
very
extra,
Better than
so
like
creamy.
regular ice cream.
Almond ice cream is also
And almond ice cream is also
extremely
really good.
So these are healthy fats, no palm oils, no refined sugars, and they pair well with lots of different things.
Good, aren't they?
I can't wait to have these. I don't know. We can use them on our board.
I think
We
they
certainly
could.
sell them in
I
the
think
shop.
they could go well on boards. There were some very interesting flavors. The last
Look
one
at you.
was like a
Surf
chocolate
Going
coffee
Yes.
espresso.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Oh, it was amazing. It was like eating peanut butter and having a cup of espresso at the same time.
He's feeding himself like a baby. He's got like when the fish.
He's learned to fly a new plane. Now he's flying crackers.
No, that is good.
I think there's
What
gin
other
in the
snacks?
vinegar.
All right. So
Oh, I want to talk about Q's nuts a little
yes,
bit.
go ahead. Yeah, talk about
So-
those. I can show them.
Yeah. So one of the other products is Q's nuts. So we've been carrying Q's nuts for about a year, I'd say. Ken's
Right, in
holding
this
up the
large
bags that you-
package?
The larger package. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the bags that you may have been seeing
Is this empty?
in the winery. But it was really fun to be at the show with them. And so hearing them talk about their products and getting to try a few different ones. We've
Look at
got a nice pile of little sample bags
We got,
that we can try some different flavors. And
sweet roast cashews,
Oh, yeah.
rosemary sea
Those-
salt
those are
cashews,
really good.
Those.
and then some Mexican
put the
chocolate
vinegar in there.
almonds.
Oops. Oh, no.
Ken's
I'm off
Drinking too much
camera.
vinegar.
Sorry.
Ken's
We
drinking
forgot
more
Mike,
vinegar
though.
over
We forgot
there.
to take the vinegar out of his.
Oh, no.
God, I just poured rosé.
We
I'm
poured
like,
rosé in
"Ah."
it. Don't
But-
try this at home. We're trained professionals.
Don't put
But,
vinegar in your rosé.
No, I don't think so.
God, that was
oh,
terrible.
those are great. I mean, all of this stuff
Oh.
is just trouble because you just
And-
want to eat the whole thing.
I think what was really great about being at the show like this is, we could have discovered Q's Nuts and gone online and bought Q's Nuts, but because we were at the show actually talking to them, we can ask about more specific things, i.e.,
Like
can
bulk?
you make this in bulk? Because those sorts of packages aren't always online.
Right.
And they said, oh yeah, any of these flavors you want, just get in touch with us directly. So if we
What do you
go
want?
directly
No.
to them, we can get any of these in bulk, which makes it much more feasible to put these on
Cayenne
boards.
mango.
Oh, speaking of bulk too, is that Loon Chocolate there?
Yeah.
So Loon was at the show.
That's why, yeah, we
And
had
we were-
invited Loon Chocolate to be with us on
Oh, some
Saturday.
cayenne.
Oh, that's got some
And
spice.
they couldn't make it because they were at the show in Portland, but we
Right.
were able to hook up with them a little bit on Sunday.
And they have some new flavors that we got to try. And they're going to be.
They were here at our Valentine's thing too.
They were.
Yep.
And they would have been here Saturday, but
Oh, that's good.
They were at the
Wow.
show. They didn't have the resources to be at both.
Yep.
So, but what we discovered is they were giving samples at the show.
Oh,
Little bite-sized bites of chocolate. And we said, can we buy those? So now, when you come to our tasting bar to do a wine tasting, you
Oh,
can
you'll
get
get
the
the
Loon
bite-sized.
chocolate, bite-sized pieces.
They're really cute little buttons.
They're little buttons.
Oh,
So we're gonna buy those.
marketing.
and,
It'd be like us putting our wine in those little bottles.
yeah, it's totally perfect. Because right
Nip.
now, the Winnipesaukee chocolates
That's
are
good.
made in a bite-sized piece. And we share those. And people usually want to take it home with them once they've tasted. So this will be a chance to try the Loon and
Dark chocolate.
take it home.
Spices.
This, I think, that's the one that I think will go best on boards of the ones I've tried so far.
Oh, we gotta try that.
What's that one?
This is a rosemary sea salt cashew.
Oh.
Oh, wow. That's delicious. And these are all made like right here. Where are these out of? This is
They're Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Right, just south of us. So fun.
Wow.
It's just like going to your 2 mile
Oh, yeah,
long farmer's market
Yeah.
in Lyon, France,
Right.
and getting a choice from the countryside.
We're gonna maybe work with some Bar Harbor teas, some wild Maine blueberry black tea. Really excited to get some new flavors from local tea company. And
Oh,
what do we got
this.
here?
Yeah, so this was, I
I didn't
think,
see them.
Dani's quest yesterday. So especially with all the events that we've been planning,
We've had these
Dani's
folks
sort of
here
on
before.
kind of a mocktail or even cocktail kick. And so
yeah.
she was going around looking for syrups and mixers and seltzers and things. And we
I'm so glad
lucked
you
out.
did that.
Yeah, so we have some exciting things. She found some very
Rumor
interesting
has it,
seltzers.
since we go to wait service, we can have real cocktails.
Mhm.
here.
That is true. There is a
We can
rumor
do
that we may
mixers.
actually start carrying a liquor license here.
But-
But with
Keto,
these,
wouldn't
so
it be fun to take some of those and
with
just
spring
put
in
it
session,
in? Spring in session
Oh, yeah.
with
Yeah.
3 honey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we could already do that.
So this is
we can do that now.
Wood Stove Kitchen, and they're actually based in Laconia. They go through Genuine Local, and that new facility that Genuine Locals moved into.
I want to go down there and see that.
Steve, the guy I talked to from Wood Stove Kitchen, he says that I think he said 2/3 of Genuine Local's new space is this company. So they're making these incredible cocktail and mocktail mixers. They have a blueberry lavender, a blackberry sage, grapefruit rosemary, strawberry basil. There was a watermelon mint. They're delicious.
That's
And yeah, so we're excited about bringing some of these in and seeing what we can do with mixing those with our wines for events.
That sounds like fun. Maybe I'll switch from making wine
Little
and go into
mixology.
making these little
No. So moving right
We
along.
still need the wine.
That's really the food front. There were a couple other things that we may explore. We have some brochures from a couple other food companies. So
It was overwhelming.
there was some
There's
nice.
so many things.
That's a home run, guys. There's a lot of really good
That's
new
excellent.
stuff.
Yeah,
And it's great. They know, they're marketing at that spot, but they know, if you bring samples, that's the best way to
Oh, sure.
learn about
Absolutely.
products and be interested in them and getting to try all these different things.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful.
There is a caramel company out of
Oh,
Massachusetts.
Oh.
It made flavored caramels that were just to die for. Beautiful packaging, great gift stuff. So I think we're going to probably carry those. They'll be, just at the counter. I don't know that they'll be used in the deli, but they'll be, just grab and go, and enjoy a nice caramel. Or
Did you
a
try
nice
the
gift
maple syrup?
package. No.
There was a maple syrup company that does infused maple syrups. They have like a bourbon barrel aged one. They had one made from
Wow.
Whistle Pig whiskey based in
Wow.
Middle. I think they're near Middlebury, Vermont. And they had some fruited ones, and there was a spicy one.
Really, from maple syrup? Wow,
They were really
that's
good,
creative.
and they were kind of advertising those as to use in cocktails as well.
Of course.
Well,
Our
there's
friend
some more
Greg
room to
Mee at
explore.
Cold Stone Garden Distillery, he has a brother who lives up the hill and taps a bunch of sugar maple trees and makes maple syrup every year. And so Greg gets a Sauterne barrel in and does a spirit aged in that. And then he sends that empty barrel up the hill to his brother, who puts maple syrup in it. This maple syrup gets some of the spirit, and then after the maple syrup comes out, it comes back down the hill to Greg at Cold Stone Garden, and Greg puts a bourbon into it, and bourbon gets some of that maple syrup, and then it goes back up the hill, and they put syrup in it. So they're
That's
starting this synergy
That's lovely.
between their maple syrup and their spirits creation.
Yeah, Cold Garden Spirits.
Cold Garden
Cold
Spirits.
Garden,
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh gosh, it's already 6:28.
Yep.
Okay, well,
Wait, so-
before we go, I got
Yeah, there are a
couple
few
fun products.
non-food products that
Yeah.
we discovered
Look
as well.
at this. This is the
This is
cutest
so
little
cute.
thing. So this is looks
Ooh,
like a
matchbox.
matchbox, right?
I'll try
Look
that
at
one.
this. So we take the matchbox, open it up, and we have Mount Kisco, New York. It's in 3D.
What is that, like a laser cut
It's
thing?
laser cut. So what we're going to talk about is they can, if we send them pictures of our winery and Meredith, they'll make one that's dedicated to us. So
Oh,
it's
neat. How about a
cute little
snail?
Gifty item with a snail. Yes, exactly. So we're going to talk about it. It's going to take a little while because we have to get them. We have to come up with the art and have them made. But they're just so cute.
Mhm.
I
And he
just
said
fell in
once
love.
and once we have that design, we can make
Different
bookmark like
sizes
skyline
and-
bookmarks. You can make Christmas ornaments. You can make these little matchboxes. So there's a lot of
Wow.
Really,
with that.
really.
Yeah,
fun.
that's fun.
That's pretty cool.
And then we this company.
this was a fun sort of reconnection in a way,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
So this company, we actually had worked with them a little bit before years ago when we were carrying some of the Oglethorpe's gifts.
Yes, they made boxes.
They
That's
made
right. Oh.
really nice various sorts of wooden products, but especially little boxes. And we had some really nice
Little
snail.
boxes, little boxes.
Oh, boy.
These are made of
Oh, boy.
better materials
Oh, my
than
God.
Tibi-Tac.
Moving on.
So
Moving
yeah,
on
we had
here. Moving
those
along.
snail gift boxes that held a bottle of wine and a couple of glasses. We still actually have one of them down in the shop. But we haven't been carrying Oglethorpe's for a while, and so haven't been in touch with this company. But they made, again, really beautiful little boxes. They had all these really fun advent calendars
Yeah.
that are, the type
Oh.
that have just drawers, so you can fill them with whatever you want,
Yeah,
little candy or nips or
the beer
toys,
can advent
or
calendar.
one that has
Oh, that's
just circles, so you can put 25 different beer bottles, and there's a magnet for each number that goes
Yeah.
on the cap.
There you go.
And they can also,
Fun
I think,
stuff.
do custom
Drinking in the
boxes,
holidays.
So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
potential there. That was a
Of
fun
course.
fun company.
So that I think that does it. That's what we discovered. Oh, what a great weekend!
Yeah.
All these fun local products. So hopefully some of these new things will be in the winery soon, and you'll get to try them. And there's certainly a lot of the things we started with that are here now. And if you're not familiar or haven't been out to us, I think most of the audience today has probably had some of these, if not all of them, at one point or another. But if you haven't, I suggest you come on in because there's really great stuff.
And too, as always, if there are other things that you wish that we carried at Hermit Woods, maybe it's a product that you know is made in your hometown,
that's a
or
great point.
you know, a specific sort of gift item that you think fits with us.
Sorry, I didn't say that.
And yeah, if you have suggestions of
Like
types
that,
of products
yes.
you'd like to see, or if you have recommendations for local companies that you already know and love, we'd love to hear about
You know,
it.
you could just, if you're in a
That's a great
shop, if you're in a little shop in your hometown and you see a New England made product that you just love, take a picture of it
Yeah,
and
send
to
it
us.
over.
Yeah, maybe we can help showcase them and expose
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
That's a great
That'd be
idea.
And
great.
that was actually one of my favorite things about Saturday. And I was seeing it some on Sunday at the bigger show as well. But I think as wonderful it was for the customers to get to come in and try all these products, the vendors were having a great time meeting each other
Sharing ideas.
and
Oh, right.
networking
Yeah.
with each other and working together. Well, there was one, I think at Picnic Rock is going to start carrying Hall's Honeys or something like that. Like,
Yes, Picnic Rock.
there's
Yes.
new connections that are being made at events like this between the vendors,
Right.
and that was
Which is
really fun to
perfect.
see.
Right.
When do we expect to see some of these things sitting in our?
The new things.
The new things.
Yeah,
Some of them, the nuts are already here. We're going to
Yep.
get some new flavors.
Yeah.
Jack's Crackers are already here. We'll get some new flavors. So in the next few weeks, those things will roll right out.
How about
Um,
these?
Those,
Steaks?
Hopefully soon.
hopefully soon. I mean, it's
wonder
just a
with
matter of putting an order in and getting them delivered because I don't think we need any convincing. We
No, and
don't
they're-
order them.
It might be hard, but sometimes they're small companies, and
Yeah.
maybe after an
Sure.
event like this, they
Understood. Yep.
might get backed up. But we'll be working to get them in as soon as we can.
Yeah, fantastic.
So what are we doing next week?
Is next week? When are you guys are gone soon, aren't you?
We're going to
Is that,
EWE.
is that next week?
Oh, we will be live from EWE.
Will you be able to be live?
Is that
from
right?
there?
That'll
Sure we will.
That's
We'll-
the night.
we'll be-
That's the
maybe
night
you can
before
set
my
up here.
presentation is the next day.
And we'll have to talk about that. But that'd be great. We could
we
be
do that?
live from I don't know, it's Monday night, so I don't know what will be going on with the show.
We're going to be traveling. The Monday night is not much going on. Tuesday starts with
Is the show, yeah.
with the educational sessions.
So we don't know where we're going to be
we
Monday night.
normally we'd be out
Not
drinking
here.
beer somewhere on our way
Well, that's okay.
to the conference, and maybe we go live from a brewery.
No, maybe we should definitely. We gotta plan that.
They usually have the
Upstate
first
New
night
York.
to have a happy hour with all the people
that's
bring.
Tuesday night.
Oh, that's Tuesday night?
Yeah,
that's
So it's not
Tuesday
Monday
night.
Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, so we'll be at the
How about
Dinosaur
from
Bar.
from the place where Mark Leclerc
The
was
Dinosaur
playing?
Barbecue.
Dinosaur
Dinosaur.
barbecue.
That would
So
be.
That
next
might be
week-
kind of loud.
Live from the Eastern Winery Expo.
Eastern
and I'm sure
Winery
you'll
Expo.
talk next week about the expo.
You know what
That'll
we'll
probably
do?
be the
You know what we'll
The
do?
10th annual.
We'll go Monday night live from somewhere in that area, and then sometime during the show, or a couple times during the show, we'll go live. Either one of us or all of us from the floor, introduce some of our vendors.
Sure, that'd be great.
So
Bob.
if you sign up, if you're on our if you I didn't talk about this earlier. I can say it again.
Hit the,
So if you right
here we
below
go.
here, if you're on
Okay.
YouTube, you can subscribe, and there's a little bell for Facebook. If you subscribe and we go live on the show floor,
Oh, this
You'll,
changes
you'll
this
be notified.
event totally, Bob.
Changes
With
the
you
event.
with a microphone and a camera.
I'm going to
Oh,
bring
boy.
this.
Look
mic-
out, world.
Look out!
Bob's
Wow.
booth at the
Look out.
EWE. Oh my
All right, so there it is. Next week, join us at EWE
Oh, my
Eastern Winery
goodness.
Exposition. It's the largest wine exposition east of the Mississippi. It's been going on for as long as we've been in business. The first one we visited was in 2012. That's when they
Yeah.
started, and it's been going on ever since. And it's in Syracuse, New York,
Or Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
or Lancaster, depending on
Go
which
back
year
and
it
forth.
is. They rotate it around. So we'll see you next week in New York. So thank you everybody for coming out and seeing us, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week live. Hope you enjoyed the show.
cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Don't drink what's in my glass.
Don't put rosé on
Oh.
top of it.